honor and a privilege for me to be here this evening at the launch of this very, very important book. I have to congratulate Dr. Ishmael Yamson for actually taking the time to put this book together. It is really very rich. It's basically given us a history of where we have come from and what is going on. And I think it's really speaks a lot about the breadth of his experience. I'm very impressed by the breadth and depth of the book's coverage of the major issues of economic development and growth, and of finance and business that many African countries have been grappling with for decades. It is refreshing to note that it brings together a wealth of experience that can only be supplied by practitioners and academia. The big question that many of us have grappled with, why is Africa poor, notwithstanding all the resources that we have? He addresses to some extent on page 78. He raises this question of the book. At page 78 of the book, we have all these natural resources, but we are still grappling with poverty, and provides in this book certain critical lessons: leadership, lack of a vibrant private sector. These are the issues that he talks about as to why we are not progressing. The leadership, the lack of a vibrant private sector. We need to build new growth pillars, and we need to build capacity in technical and vocational education. One professor of mine a long time ago asked me, he said, "Mr. Bawumia," I said, "Yes, sir." He says, "Why are you always worrying about African development?" And then he says, "Don't worry. Whenever Africans decide they want to develop, they will develop themselves." You're worrying too much. And I think, the book gives us a lot of insights as to why we are not developing, and when we decide we want to develop, the lessons are very much there. Dr. Boche reminded us one of the problems that we've had is fiscal indiscipline, and that the demons of fiscal fragility are always hanging around. And when they smell that you are a bit shaky, they will come for you. Asaf Mafu in his time, inherited an economy that had gone hippic. It had gone hippic because Dr. Boche had stopped managing the economy. So, he took over the economy that had gone hippic, and then implemented policies that got us out of hippic. But we didn't seem to learn those lessons. After a period of euphoria, after discovery of oil, we thought all of our problems were over. And we started the spending and the borrowing again. In 2008, our total debt was 9.5 billion Ghana cedis. Notwithstanding HIPIC relief, this is from independence to 2008. You had a debt of 9.5 billion Ghana cedis from independence to 2008. Then from 2008 to 2016, you increased that debt from 9.5 billion to 122 billion in just that short space of time. And the debt to GDP ratio goes up from 32% to 73%. And that is a problem. Of course, we had a fiscal deficit of 9.4% at the end of 2016. And the macro was in trouble. Of course, growth also declined. And this is a major lesson for us. It's something that we had not learned, and it's something that as policymakers we have to take very seriously, because it's not sustainable. Fiscal conditions were not sustainable. And this is why, as a country, we have to take a collective decision that it is right for us to create the macroeconomic conditions to keep those demons of fiscal fragility and all of that away. For us, it's very, very important, and it's not a partisan issue. It shouldn't be a partisan issue that we maintain a stable macroeconomy that will definitely help bring about a vibrant private sector. This issue of reversibility, we have to address it. There is dance of one step forward, two steps backwards. As a country, we have to address it. And so we are going to propose a law this year, in the next few months, and pass it, of course, before the budget, that we cap the deficit by law to no more than 5% of GDP in any year. And this is not because somebody says you should do it. No, nobody has said you should do it. But it's because it's the right thing to do. It is the right thing to do for our country and for the future of our country. So this is where we are going. We are undertaking many policies to make sure that we keep the demons at bay. We keep the demons at bay and look for innovative ways of financing our infrastructure and other development expenditures. So there is real fiscal consolidation going on. If you look at the last 4 years between 2012 and 2016, the debt to GDP ratio was ballooning. Every year it was increasing by an average of 6.7%. That's unprecedented. You move from 45% in 2012 to 73% in 2016. So we end at 73%. With the type of fiscal consolidation we are doing, this year we should bring it down from 73 to 72 rather than the 6% increase, which should have taken us closer to 80%. And then we will continue that consolidation. And this is why you are seeing interest rates declining. For those of you who invest in T-bill, you won't be very happy. Because the rates have come down to around 11.9%, and we expect them to go down further. The exchange rate is relatively stable, and we want to maintain it. But more importantly, we believe that this country has the capacity for us to manage our economy beyond aid. And this is what we are saying, that we want a Ghana beyond aid. This is what His Excellency the President has been saying. So let us, it cannot be one of rhetoric. You have to do the things that allow you to sustain an economy beyond aid. A friend of mine once told me a joke about a country that was in a hurry that they want to graduate from the IMF program. Right? We're in a hurry to graduate. And he said, well, you know, I'm happy you are going to graduate, but don't come back for a postgraduate program. So it is very, very important as we look forward to a Ghana beyond aid. We will, of course, graduate from the IMF program when we complete it in the next budget cycle, which is this budget will be passed in December. We'll complete it in December 2018. And we will graduate. So this budget will be the last budget under the IMF program. But we are going to make sure, and we have to make sure, that we put in place measures that allow this economy to hold, I think at this stage, I would like to congratulate Dr. Yamson for an excellent book. It's really worth reading. Excellent book. And more grease to your shoulders. God bless you, and God bless our homeland, Ghana.